Good morning, dear students. So, let's study today the poem that is the Laburnum Top. I have given an overview of the poem yesterday, so we will begin with it, right? The Laburnum Top, written by Ted Hughes, right? So, let's talk about the poet first. Edward James Hughes was an English poet and children's writer. Critics frequently rank him as one of the best poets of his generation and one of the 20th century's greatest writers. He served as poet laureate from 1984 until his death. This is a reward given to the poet, right? So he was recognized as the poet laureate, and that was from 1984 until his death, right? Ted Hughes has written the poems which are loved by children, right? And he had taken up plants, animals, birds, even the nature. He is a nature lover. He was a nature lover. That's why he has taken up all as characters, right? It can be an animal or the plant, just like here we have the laburnum top. So I will show you the picture of the laburnum top, how it is. So here is the picture which is describing it, right? The laburnum tree laden with, it's a short tree laden with yellow flowers, right? So this is the picture. You must have seen it somewhere, definitely, right? So, and here is the picture of goldfinch bird which comes on this laburnum top, and it gives a life. It gives a life to this silent laburnum top tree, right? So the arrival of the goldfinch, don't you see that it is a beautiful bird, right? Having the stripes on the body, right? So these are the marks, identity marks, which define her, right? So here we have the pictures. I hope it is clear to you, right? Now let's see what is the theme of this poem. The first three lines of the poem impress upon the reader the stillness of the laburnum tree. In the starting lines, the laburnum tree is shown as silent, as motionless, right? A small goldfinch comes and the tree bursts with movement and sound, right? With the arrival of goldfinch bird, it becomes lively, right? As I told you earlier. Why it comes over here? We all know that the bird make their nest in the branches of the tree. So in the same breath over here also, the bird's family lodges in the thickness of the tree. The goldfinch enters the tree's thickness to feed her young ones and flies away, right? After feeding them, it flies away also, right beta? So why it had come over here? Just to give the feed which she had collected from somewhere, right? She had made a nest, beautiful nest, in the thickness of the branches of the tree, right? And after feeding the baby chicks, it went away. So just then, what happened? The tree becomes silent again, right? When the bird flies away. So the poet has used imagery of sound and movement to show the, you know, tree coming alive, right? No doubt the picture is created in front of our eyes. That's why it's also a good example of imagery, right? When it touches to our five senses, as I have told you in the poetic devices, right? When it touches to the five senses, then it is a good example of imagery, right? Here, see, the baby chicks are taking the feed from the goldfinch, right? Now, let's read the poem, and word by word explanation will be done for you, right? As we have done earlier also. So, the laburnum top is silent, quite still. So, the laburnum top is shown, right, is, you know, depicted on the screen just as silent, quiet, still means motionless. Please pick up your pens and or pencils and mark the word meanings, synonyms, write down the synonyms, right? The laburnum top is silent, quiet, and it is motionless. When? In the afternoon, yellow September sunlight, a few leaves yellowing, all its seeds fallen. Right? The laburnum top is silent and motionless. And on a September afternoon, the golden sunlight is spread on it. Right? So, in the afternoon of September, the tree is silent and motionless, right? Blazing, the, you know, shining sunlight is spread on it. Okay, a few leaves yellowing, no doubt it is the month of September, so it is an autumn season, right? So the few leaves left on the tree are turning yellow in autumn season, right? And all its seeds fallen, and all the seeds, they have already fallen to the ground, right? So I believe each and every nook and corner of this extract is clear to you. Yes, let me just explain it once again. The laburnum top, the laburnum tree, the laburnum top, or you can say the top of the laburnum tree is silent, right? It is completely silent and still means motionless. When? On a September afternoon, right? And the sunlight is spread on it, right? As it is an autumn season, that's why the few leaves left on the tree, they are turning yellow, and all the seeds, they have already fallen on the ground, right? Okay, so now see what is the poetic device has been used over here. Can you find out anyone? The laburnum top is silent, quite still. In the afternoon, yellow September sunlight. Yes, over here. Can't you see over here that September sunlight? Right? Sorry, it moved on. So September sunlight, when we have two, you know, words coming together with consonant sound. We have done it, and I have given you the presentation on poetic devices. So what should it be? You should give me answer. Yes, it should be the alliteration, right? When the repetition of consonant sound is there, then it is called alliteration, right? So now let's see the next one. Till the goldfinch comes with a twitching chirp. Yes. So the laburnum tree is shown quiet and still in the afternoon of September, right? It is really still. But as soon as now the first extract is related to this one. As soon as till the goldfinch comes, till the goldfinch comes means when there was no goldfinch, it was silent, right? With a twitching. Mark it down. What do you mean by twitching? Twitching is sudden. When there is a sudden chirp, chirp kya hota hai beta? Chirp is the sound of the bird, right? So when there is a chirping, sudden chirping of the goldfinch bird, right? Which had come over here, a suddenness, a startlement. Startlement means surprise. At a branch end, when it comes over here, so there was a startlement at a branch end. Means to our surprise, there was a chirping, although it was silent before coming of the goldfinch, but now it started having some sounds of the chirping. Why? Because she had made her nest over here in the thickness of the branches, and the baby chicks, they had started chirping in a beautiful manner, as we have in the families also. My dear students, while parents goes away, right, in the morning to earn the livelihood, right, the home becomes silent, right? And as soon as they enters in the home, then it becomes lively, right? Same way over here, the children, the baby chicks, they were very silent because they have some threat of others, right? If they will be found, then they could have some harm, right? So that's why they were silent. But as soon as they see that the mother had come, so they started making beautiful chirping, right? Then sleek as a lizard. Sleek means very elegant, very glossy. Write it down, beta. Sleek means glossy, elegant, as a lizard, right? Lizard, it is a reptile, right? So as a lizard, the chicks have been shown over here, just like a sleek, a glossy, right, or an elegant, right? um just like a lizard, they are very alert, right? Very alert, taking all the things in a very positive and in a quick manner, right? And abrupt. Abrupt means rough. They are also rough, right? She enters the thickness. She enters into the thickness. Thickness of what? Thickness of the leaves. Because you know it very well, it never makes, the nest in the open. It always makes the nest in the thickness of the leaves, right? So, and a machine starts up, as I was defining you earlier also, that the, bird's movement, they are compared to a machine. Okay, why? Because as the machine, when it starts, it makes some sound. If, for example, if we switch on the fan, then it makes some sound, right? So same way, while the goldfinch comes over here, the whole family, the whole chicks, they start making sound, and it means the birds are the all the birds, their movements, they have been compared to the machine, right? That starts up of chitterings. Chitterings, what are chitterings? It's again the bird's voice, right? And a tremor. Tremor of wings. Tremor means shaking, right? As soon as goldfinch comes over here, the birds as well as the goldfinch, she 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 shakes her wings, right? And trillings again, it is crystals. Crystals क्या होते हैं बेटे? Which is very transparent one, right? So crystals की तरीके से जो वो छोटे छोटे दाने लेकर आई है, right, it gives to the chicks, right? The whole tree trembles with the arrival, with the coming up of the Goldfinch, the whole tree trembles, the whole tree shakes off, right? Sara tree हिल जाता है, right? And thrills, there was a thrilling sound, right? It shivers, it trembles, right? And then it is the engine of her family. Beautiful line. Here is the image of engine. Why it is called an engine? Beta, a machine is, useless without an engine. Same way over here, a family can't run without any support, right? So the head of the family or parents, right, they are the engine, they are the support to us, right? So here the goldfinch is a support to the chicks. That's why it is compared to an engine, right? She strokes it full, she strokes it full, then flirts out to a branch end, right? She strokes it full means she feeds them in full, right? And then flirts out to a branch end. Fed flirts out to a branch end, then it comes to the branch end again, showing her barred face, showing her barred face, identity mask, right? Then she showed her strips, as I have shown you the picture of the goldfinch. She has strips on the body and on the face, which are the identity marks of her, right? Marks of it, rather, I must say, right? So those are the identity marks. So she showed her identity marks over there, right? So now let's, as I have given you word by word explanation, now take it up as a collective one, right? Till the goldfinch comes, the silent, the tree is really silent, right? So now the silence is broken, okay? The silence is broken with the arrival of a small singing mother bird. And which is the mother bird? Goldfinch, right? Why she has come over here? She has returned to meet and feed her young chicks, right? It makes a jerky chirping, it makes a jerky chirping, right? Sudden chirping sound from the branch end where she had made the nest, right? The mother's arrival creates a sudden stir. There was a sudden stir which we have done. Tremble, the whole tree trembles, right? And noise that startles, the silence spread all around, right? सारी सबको हैरान कर देता है, कहाँ बिल्कुल साइलेंट सा ट्री है और एकदम से बर्ड के आते ही पूरा लाइवली हो जाता है. देयर वर साउंड्स ऑल ओवर द ट्री, राइट? The little young ones are there in a nest, right? The little bird, they are as smooth, right? They are as sleek, as smooth and shiny, right? Glossy body as that of a lizard. Okay? So she is extremely watchful, alert. She is very alert, right? And swift, very quick. Okay? She enters the thickness. The nest is built securely into the thickness of the branches, into the thickness of the leaves at the end of the branch, right? The bird enters a thick bunch of leaves and twigs, right? And at once the tree comes alive. It becomes alive like a noisy machine or engine, right? The bird's movements, they are compared to a machine. Why? Because it is exactly like a machine. The bird makes the noise exactly like a machine, right? That's why it is compared to a machine, and as well as it is compared to an engine. As engine is important for a machine, so same way the bird is a support. Engine means support to her family. Right, beta? It must be clear to you. So it is the engine of our little ones. They too start chirping in excitement. She strucks it full. She feeds them fully, right? They flap their little wings and put up a confusing noise, right? So definitely, it is the mother bird who creates all such noise to a high pitch, right? So then, having fed her chicks, she came to the branch end, right, to fly up again, right, to fly up again into the eternal sky, right? She flies out of the nest to a branch, showing her barred face identity mask. Her face bears stripes, right, which are its identity marks. A sort of, mask is there on her face, right? These days we are using the mask, right? So same way, as I have shown you the picture, the goldfinch has some stripes which looks like a mask on her face, and which are the identity marks. Otherwise, what is the difference between a sparrow, crow, or goldfinch? Right? Definitely they all of them have some identity marks. So same way here, the goldfinch has stripes on her body as well as on her you know beak or the face, which looks like a mask on her face. I believe it is clear to you. Now see the beautiful poetic devices used in this extract. See the first line, till the goldfinch comes with a twitching chirp. Can't you find any kind of poetic devices which I have elaborated you earlier? Here in the first line, I'm mentioning you. Here we have a poetic device. My dear students, see here. Till the goldfinch comes with a twitching chirp. Chirp. Chirp is a sound. When we have a sound word, it shows onomatopoeia, right? So, good example of onomatopoeia, right? A suddenness or a startlement at the branch end, then sleek as a lizard. See here, as a lizard. It is compared, the chicks have been compared with the lizard. Comparison is there, and using as a like, right? That's why it is a simile. Very good example of simile, right? And alert and abrupt. They are alert and abrupt. Okay, she enters the thickness and the machine starts up of chitterings and of tremors of wings and trillings. The whole tree trembles and thrills. It is the engine of her family. Engine of her family. Yes. Can it be an engine? No. She is compared to an engine, right? How can she be or it can be an engine? No. The bird can't be an engine. It is compared to an engine, right? So it is a good example of metaphor. Without using as or like, we are comparing two things. One is goldfinch to the engine, right? That's why it is a good example of metaphor. So, three, and one more is there. Yes, see, she strokes it full. She launches away. These lines will come later on. Yes. So, she strokes it full. Beta, for you must have noticed it that I am using it, because while we have done the pronouns, we must have come to know that for the human beings, if it is masculine, then we use he. If it is feminine, then we use she. And if it is an abstract one, in abstract we count two things. One is non-living and the other one is birds or animals, right? So with birds and animals, or for non-living things, we should use it rather than she. But the poet has used she for it, for goldfinch, right? So it means it is a personification. हिंदी में मैंने आपको बताया ना, मानवीकरण, right? So the goldfinch is compared, or she it is taken up as a human being, right? That's why it is a good example of personification, right? So till now we have come to know the example of alliteration, right? Then we come to know about chirp, in the word chirp, twitching chirp, onomatopoeia, right? As a lizard, it is an example of simile. Then engine of a family is an example of metaphor. And she, while we see the word she, right? So the bird is shown as a human being, she is used, that's why it is personification, right beta? I believe it is clear to you. Now see the last two, uh, three lines, right? Then with airy delicate whistle, chirp, whisperings, she launches away towards the infinite, and the laburnum subsides to empty. Yes. So, when with airy, delicate. Yes, airy means here it is for wonderful. Right? Then with wonderful, delicate, whistling, chirping, whispering sounds, right? She launches away. Launches away means she goes away towards the infinite. Infinite means infinite sky. So she goes away towards the infinite, unlimited sky. Right? Why she has gone? She has gone to take out something for the chicks again. Right? And the laburnum subsides to empty. Subsides means becomes tranquil. Tranquil means silent. Right? Tranquil. The spelling is tranquil. Right? Silent, in other words. Okay. So the mother bird who creates all such noises to a high pitch, she, what did she do now? Having fed her chicks, she flies out of the branch, right? She flies out of the nest to a branch, right? And her face, which were bearing the identity marks, a sort of mask on her face, she leaves, right, to the infinite, unlimited sky. She goes away into that, right? Why? Because now she has to take up something for the kids again, right? So the purpose of her visit is fulfilled. Number one, what was the purpose of her visit? That was to feed the baby chicks, right? So bird once again flies away towards some unknown place far away, right? And the silence, as usual, returns to the little tree again, right? So subsides means becomes silent. Okay, so the laburnum tree again becomes silent. Okay, so same as I told you, that our family, with the arrival of our parents or the elders, it becomes lively, right? And when they go away, so it becomes silent, right? So that is what we have in this poem, and I believe it is clear to all of you, right? Thank you so much. Just go through with it, right? And find out the answers given in the text. Tomorrow we'll do it. Thank you. Have a nice day.